Shalom. Shalom to the 12 tribes of Yisrael that have been scattered worldwide. It's Mori Yoshiyahu Dawid of the Awakening Remnant Coalition. And coming to you with a part 2 on this beautiful meditation titled, How Long? In our previous video, we discussed the idea that when David said, how long will you forget me? He was talking about how many more cycles of life, daily cycles of life, will I go through until you show up? Of course, in English it says forget, but in Hebrew, the particular word natesh is the word, shakah is the word to find that which is hidden. How much longer until you come and get me is what he's saying. Till you hear my cry and respond. The second line, or the second word I want to bring out in our, well, I guess it'll be our third word, is the word forever. The word forever, natish, natish, and it would be the idea forever is, it relates to the word to flow or to flow out. And when you connect that idea with the word blood, which this word has to do with blood, it represents the flowing of blood. When he says, how long will you forget me? And then he says, oh Yahuwah, self-living one, self-existing one, which is the proper name of our Elohim. He asked the question, is it natish or is it forever? Now, remember in Hebrew, we have more than one word for forever, okay? And this is something that we need to meditate on. According to our Hebraic thought, forever could be forever and ever, which has to do with the continuation of time until time is completely, I guess, what you would say, wound up until it's over. In other words, it's something that happens perpetually forever. And then you have another word in Hebrew, forever, that literally means the length of a person's life. Okay, so again, when we study English, a lot of times those two words are translated with the same English word, forever. But not every word that's translated forever means until the end of eternity. This particular word means until my life ends. Okay? So when he says forever, he's not saying forever and ever. He's saying, will you keep looking at me or looking for me until I die? In other words, will I live? This was what we would say. This is how we would say this. Will I live to see you rescue me? That's what he was asking. Will I live long enough? Am I going to die waiting on you to rescue me? That's what he's saying. So you see how we definitely, when we study and we meditate on Yah's word, we have to meditate from a Hebraic viewpoint, because you will think, number one, that David is talking about that Yah will, our grandfather David is saying that Yah is going to forget us, and he cannot forget you. He knows you. He's not saying forget. He says, how long till you discover me, or how long till you show up after hearing me call? And then the word forever has to do with his own personal life. Will it be until my blood pretty much falls out of my body and I die? So that's where he's going with that. And then he says, how long will you hide your face from me? And of course, that's not the picture that the scripture is saying. It's not like Yah is hiding his face. That's not the picture. He's saying, how long until I see your face? So in Hebrew, the idea is not that Yah is somewhere trying to hide so that we can't see him. It's not what it means, Zion. He's saying, Yah, you're on your throne and you're watching over the sheep. You hear my cry, and I've been crying for a while. Been going through the cycles daily. I still been going through the daily cycles, but it's like I'm crying and I don't feel like you're showing up. And this is all he's saying in this meditation. He's saying, when am I going to be able to see you? When are you going to show up? Not how long are you going to stay hidden. He's just simply saying that where you are right now, as far as, this is what David is saying, our grandfather. He's saying, right now, from my perspective, you are beyond. And that's all he was saying. You're beyond my sight. Right now, from my perspective, I can't see you. In other words, I know you're here, I know you're watching, but I can't see you at this particular point. And I want to know, how long will it be before I'm able to see you face to face? All right. The third one, he says, so the first one, how long will you forget me? And then he asked the word forever. How long will you hide your face from me? Which means how long before I'm able to see you? And then, of course, verse 2, how long shall I take counsel in my soul? Okay, so the idea there of taking counsel in my soul has to do, really, the root word for that idea of taking counsel, believe it or not, goes back to a tree, to an actual tree, like these trees behind me, something that stands firm, that stands tall, that stands straight. And it's the idea of stability. And so obviously, when a person is in need of counseling, or a person is in need of information, it's because for the most part they're unstable or unsure about something. Okay? And when a person is unsure or unstable, or not, they don't really know which way to go, then they often seek counsel. And this is what our king, our grandfather, is saying. When you meditate on this, he's saying, at this point, because I don't see you, because I'm not looking at you face to face right now, I find myself in a position of being a counselor for my own soul. Do you get that? In other words, he's saying, I'm going through something and it's tremendous, and I'm calling on you, and I'm not being able to see your face. And because I don't see your face, I then become sad. So what do I do to encourage myself? He says, I seek counsel. So what do you mean? Yes, I seek counsel with me. I find myself having to encourage myself. And I'm counseling my soul, saying, it's going to be all right. Hold on. Be strong. It's going to change. One day, my ship's going to sail. I know y'all sees me. I know y'all hears me. Things going to be all right. And you keep telling your soul that. You keep telling your own soul that. In other words, when your soul is like, I just can't see my way out, he's saying, what I do is I keep encouraging my soul. He said, but here's the difficulty in that. He said, it's very difficult, or he's dealing with the difficulty in having to take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily. He says, so here's my dilemma. He says, my heart every day is weighed down. I'm not seeing what I think is the face of Yah. And I'm calling, and it's as though he has not discovered me. But because I love Yah and I trust Yah, and I'll get to that in a moment, but he's saying in this meditation, he's saying, so what I do is I encourage my soul with truth. He said, but one of the difficulties in doing that is my heart is sorrowful. In other words, I'm encouraging from a position of pain or anguish or sorrow. We know the word heart, lev, has to do with lamet, bet is the root of that, and we know that has to do with an authority, which is the lamet, and a bet, which is a tent, but it also represents in. So when you put those two words together, it represents the authority within. He says, so while my soul, which is my life, while I am trying to give my life encouragement, the authority within me, which is the heart, the mind, he said, I'm sorrowful. And it's getting more and more difficult for me to encourage myself because I feel weighted down. So the authority within me is sad right now. The authority within me is experiencing sorrow. So his cry to the Most High Yah, he says, I don't know how much longer I can keep encouraging myself when there's sorrow in the authority within me. He says, I'm not going to be able to hold out too much longer. That's what he's saying. In other words, I remember growing up, we used to have this song we used to sing. We used to say, Yah, help me to hold out. And then, of course, the question is, how long? Until my change comes. So that's what our king, remember, our king, which is also our grandfather, he wasn't writing from a pretentious point of view. He wasn't trying to be over religious. He wasn't trying to like impress people with his literary genius. No, he was literally he was a songwriter. He was a master, but he was a first among equals. He experienced trials, tribulations, struggles, times where he didn't know things, times where he was confused, and here, times when his heart was sorrowful. And during the time of a sorrow heart, you all know that seconds can feel like minutes. Minutes can feel like hours. Hours can feel like days. Days can feel like months. And months can feel like years. So when you're going through those kinds of struggles and you're dealing with a sorrowful heart and you pray, most of us want Yah to respond right now. When I finish praying, Yah, I need you to show up right then, and I need you to turn things around for me right then. And when you finish praying and it doesn't seem that he is answering your prayer and moving as fast as you move, then, I'm sorry. When it doesn't seem that he's moving as fast as you want him to move, then oftentimes it causes sorrow. And it puts you in a position to have to encourage yourself during this particular time. And he wants to know, how much longer am I going to be in this situation of encouraging my soul in this sorrowful state? And so he has to contemplate that, and he has to meditate on that. And that's what he's doing in this song. We'll pick up the rest of the song in our next video. I hope these insights Hebraically are helping you in your meditation, because that's what they're for, to help encourage Zion, to help wake up Jacob in these last days. So until our next video, Shalom.